Jo, can I ask you just a bit about how you got involved with Echo?
So I got involved with Echo when I was 20 weeks pregnant, went for my ultrasound scan, and we found out that Rory um, had three congenital heart defects. We came up to the Evelina for scans every 2 weeks for the rest of my pregnancy. And he spent his first 3 months of life up at the Evelina on the cardiac ward.
And can I just ask you a bit about your history with the charity? So how, did you come to an antenatal class, or what sort of involvement with the charity have you had?
So, my first real involvement with it was when I had a volunteer actually come to see me on the ward. And being 40 miles away from home, and have, even though there are other parents on the ward to get to know, but someone who come up to the bed space, it was nice to have someone who has been through what you're going through at that precise moment. Sadly, Rory passed away. And then that Easter afterwards, we bought Easter eggs up for the cardiac ward. Then every year from then, obviously apart from COVID when we weren't allowed on the ward, we brought up Easter eggs and done it so that people could sponsor the egg. Their name would be on the egg, so it could go to a child, and just so the child knew someone was thinking of them. And then the sponsorship money would go to Echo.
Can I ask you just a bit about how you got involved with Echo?
It was all to do with one of our founders, Steph Wright. His son, Tommy, when he was born, he had an enlarged heart, and which was beating too fast, and it was growing too fast as well for him. So he spent quite a lot of time at St Thomas's Hospital, as you can imagine, while Tommy was being, medically cared for. Also, as well, though, for his wife, the coffee mornings that were held on the ward proved to be absolutely invaluable to her, and to Stefan as well, and to the girls, to be able to meet other families and to be able to meet the charity organisers, and just to sort of gain that kind of emotional support, as to the girls needing school stuff, play stuff and things like that. So really that's sort of how we became connected to Echo.
What difference does it make to you, fundraising, and how does it feel to be a fundraiser? So you're part of such a bigger story because you get lots of people to fundraise, but for you, Kerry, how does it feel to be a fundraiser?
Yeah, do you know, someone once said to me, you don't realise how much you need charity until you've received it. And I think that that's very true. I think if you are a very fortunate person and never need charity throughout your life, it's very difficult to understand the importance of it, and how it makes such a massive difference, to the lives of the vulnerable, and people that are in need of it. So for me, it's a great honour to be able, and privilege to be able to say that, I help with the organisation of the ride outs, and also that I can support Echo, but also that I can support the children that are on the ward.
That's amazing. And you mentioned your husband, obviously, as part of the BMX Life team.
Yeah.
So you're quite front facing. You're quite respected within the BMX community.
Yeah.
Have you got other people involved, or is it just you two riding on a BMX bike? Tell us a bit about that.
Oh wow! Well, it probably would be a lot simpler if it was Sam, but no, it isn't. So so the way that it sort of graduated was that Stefan, while he was at the Evelina, while Tommy was at the Evelina, he was walking past the House of Vans one day, and he just thought, what a great idea would it be if we organised like a ride out for people on BMXs at Christmas, and what if they all dressed up as Santa? And then we all had buckets and we tried to raise some money for Echo. He went in and spoke to House of Bands, and coincidentally, the date that they had available was also a launch date for Harrow launching a new book, Harrow being a big BMX name. So we combined the two together and felt that we would probably only have like 30, 40 people turned up. And we were just astounded that we ended up with nearly 200 people turn up, willing to give their time and their money, to this wonderful charity.
Do you mind me asking, Steph, how did you get involved with Echo?
So when I had my son, our first child, he was diagnosed with a heart condition at a 20-week scan. So we actually were introduced to Echo before we even went to the hospital, because we were introduced to Echo for the antenatal classes that you helped to organise. Our journey with Echo started from there. That was 6.5 years ago. We saw so many people who were being helped by you, because in some ways we were really fortunate. My son's heart condition isn't as serious as other children have, and he hasn't had to revisit hospital other than his checkups. But we've met so many people who do have more complicated issues and are helped by the charity so much that it became really important for us to carry on supporting Echo and help you with the work that you're doing at the hospital. And then that led us into the fundraising as well. So it's been quite a journey, but we saw firsthand how much the charity do, and how many different people that they support. So it became really important to us to stay involved. I know that a lot of work is done for not just the children with the heart condition, but the families and the siblings. Now, my son doesn't have any siblings, but I'm hoping that he will benefit from what you do with the teenagers and later on in life when he becomes an adult. My partner actually has the same heart condition, and when he left hospital at 18, no one helped him. He wasn't checked on at all. And it was only when we had my son and the consultant said to my partner, you need to have yourself checked, that he realised that was still important. And I think Echo, as far as I'm aware, continue to support children all the way up into their adulthood. They continue that transition. And I think I want to make sure that we're helping fund all the different areas, really, that not just at birth, but all the people involved and and the children all the way through their lives. He actually calls it his charity. I have to explain to people that we didn't set it up. It's not his charity, but we support you. So. Well,
it belongs to lots of people, lots and lots of people, and it's always lovely to hear, from fundraisers about what motivates them, and certainly if your son is starting at this age, that's really motivational, isn't it?
The lovely thing about raising money for Echo is that because it is a small charity, it can do a lot with any money that it is given. And as I said, I think one time we'd managed to raise a really small amount, so under £50, but still it was, this money is so important to us, and you value everything that you get. And the newsletters that we get and the information we get from Echo shows us how that money is being used as well. And as I said before, it supports so many different people. So it supports the families, it supports the children themselves, the siblings, and even before my son was born, Echo was supporting us. So it's absolutely invaluable. And I think the only thing I would say to people, if they're thinking, what can I do, and I can only raise a small amount, it doesn't matter how much it is, it's the support that's there. And if anyone has been influenced by Echo and had that experience with Echo, maybe at the hospital, there's other ways you can help as well. So like the Echo Forum, for example, leaving messages on there and sharing experiences on there. I mean, that's not monetary, but it's valuable